Welcome to Summarize Science. Today we are looking at a fascinating paper titled, How to Pick Your Football Team by Bhargav Narayanan. Imagine you and a friend are team captains, Alice and Bob, trying to divide up a group of players. Each player has a numerical value, and your goal is to have the team with the highest total score. In this specific game, one person picks a player from the list, and the other person decides which team that player joins. To keep things fair, the roles of picker and chooser swap every single turn. You might think being the first picker gives Alice an advantage, but the math says otherwise. The researchers proved a surprising result. On a board with an even number of players, Alice cannot win. This settles a long-standing puzzle from 2015 that had stumped several mathematicians. Looking at page 2, the game is more complex than it looks because of the explosion of the game tree. There are millions of ways the teams could be divided, making it hard to find a simple winning strategy. The authors explained that the primary difficulty comes from the way players switch roles every turn. To address this, the study looks at monotone winning families, where having better players always helps you win. On page 3, they introduce a core concept. The advantage in these games depends heavily on whether the board size is even or odd. It turns out that Alice is actually stronger on odd-numbered boards, while Bob holds the power on even boards. Theorem 1.2 confirms that if the board is even and Alice could win, Bob actually has a way to take the victory for himself. The paper goes even deeper on page 6 with a strategy involving the middle element of the list. For an even board, if Alice has a winning move, Bob can respond to the middle players with indifference and still come out on top. This means that no matter how Alice starts, Bob can effectively neutralize her lead. The math behind this uses a technique called induction, proving the rule for small groups and expanding it to any size. Interestingly, page 10 shows that this rule doesn't apply to every single type of game. If the winning conditions are random or non-monotone, the parity rule can break down. The researchers used computers to find specific cases where Alice can win on boards where she should lose. However, for most sports-like scenarios, the increasing family rule holds true. So, let's recap the most important takeaways from this research. First, the role of chooser is often more powerful than the role of picker in alternating games. Second, the total number of items being divided determines who has the inherent mathematical advantage. If you're playing on an even-numbered board, you definitely want to be the one who chooses first, not the one who picks first. These findings help us understand the deep mechanics of fair division and positional game theory. In the future, this logic could be applied to how we divide resources, draft players, or even resolve legal disputes. It shows that even simple games can hide very deep and complex mathematical truths. Thanks for watching Summarize Science, and may your next team draft be mathematically in your favor.